What's going on, guys? This is Drake Shot Plays coming at you with another awesome breakdown for UFC 318 Holloway versus Poirier number 3. This is Dustin Poirier's last dance, if you will. It's kind of like a Michael Jordan reference to, The Last Dance Netflix documentary. But also it's also literally, this is his last dance in the octagon. So I'm actually very excited for this card. There's also some sleeper fights in the prelims and early prelims. So we'll be going over that too. Please like and subscribe, share the channel with a friend. I'm going to be making some music. I got some video game stuff on the channel already that I just put out. And so the music albums are in recording, and my demo on some of the guitar and music gear that I'm reviewing, that will be coming soon as well. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Let's go ahead and jump into this main card, guys. I'm very excited for this one. And I'm glad to have you guys here with me. Let's see here. Early prelims. So we got a women's flyweight bout opening a card. Now, sometimes that's a good thing. Just like the last UFC Fight Night with Lewis and Teixeira. That was actually a really good fight that opened that card. So I'm looking forward to these women. They might bang it out. U.S. versus Brazil. U.S. all day. You already know what it is. Bruno Ferreira versus Jackson McVeigh. Now, Jackson McVeigh, he's been trying to get a fight. His opponents keep missing weight or canceling at the last minute, but he was on. So I think this is UFC throwing him a bone. Like, hey, here's a good name. Go ahead and get this fight. Now we got a heavyweight bout. Ryan Spann versus Lucas Bresky. Poland versus the United States. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to pick against the U.S. this time. Sometimes Ryan Spann comes out and he looks great. His debut at heavyweight wasn't the greatest fight, and he looked a little slow. Like he didn't work on his reflexes a lot as he moved up a weight class. That's actually a really important factor. Is like heavyweights are slower, but the timing is different in a fight, and I really do think that Ryan Spann didn't work on his reflexes the last fight. So I'm looking at Lucas Bresky to get it done. Maybe a Polish power left hook from hell, and it just knocks him out. Next one is a light heavyweight. Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Protnio. Poland versus Australia. I'm actually going to rock with Australia in this one. Sometimes Jimmy Crute does get chinned, but he's actually really good too. So it depends on the night, kind of like Ryan Spann. Like some nights he's good, some nights he's like getting dog walked by Anthony Smith. So just think about that. We got a welterweight bout. Adam Fugit versus Islam Dulatov. I'm going to rock with Adam Fugit on this. I don't see the odds on this. It's just weird, but that's UFC for you, of course. The UFC page never shows the good odds. Definitely check out DraftKings if you want the best odds. Definitely the only place I go to for good odds. That or Fight Picks. All right, so that's the early prelims. Now it's a regular prelims. Robert Valentin and Atiba Gauthier. Now Gauthier is like a middleweight version of Francis Ngannou, but with better footwork. I notice his footwork's a lot better and tighter than Francis Ngannou. So I will actually look to Atiba Gauthier to get this done by round 1 knockout. I would go round 2 knockout, depending on what the odds are on that, because Robert Valentin, he's a good fighter. The thing is some nights he has a bad night, but he's a good fighter. Like his striking's actually really good. Francisco Prado, welterweight bout versus Nikolay Vrenetinikov. I'd say go with Nikolay. Kazakhstan. Man, those Kazakhstan guys are freaking on a tear lately. I would look neither round one knockout or a good submission. First round one submission. Middleweight bout. Now this one has some heat to it. These guys fought at the Hard Rock Casino. They've been trying to fight each other for a while. Brendan Allen ended up pulling out, and Marvin Vettori fought Roman Dolidze just a few fight nights ago. So this is a fight that Marvin's been looking forward to, and I think Brendan Allen could say the same thing. Now, what I will say is they're both ranked, but which version of Marvin Vettori are we getting? I think in this fight, he's going to be able to pace himself better against Roman Dolidze because they've trained together. I feel like there was this disconnect in the fight because he's also trained at Extreme Couture with Roman Dolidze. So I feel like that's why that fight ended up being so ugly. I think Marvin Vettori can do really good. He's got good technique, good footwork, great striking. And he's actually been training with DustinPoirier at ATT for this one. So he's been going from good coaching to good coaching. So I really look forward to seeing how Marvin has set himself up for this. Now, Brendan Allen is a dog, but he has been pieced up. Chris Curtis was piecing him up, and Chris Curtis doesn't have the best footwork in the world. And but he's also a fellow training teammate of Marvin Vettori. Chris Curtis and them trained him at Extreme Couture. So what I'll say about this is Marvin Vettori, I look at Marvin Vettori getting it done by knockout, but if not, Brendan Allen is getting that submission. So definitely keep that in mind when you're balancing these two on your parlays, or just bet subs. Like sometimes I always tell people, like if you're betting, like definitely bet submissions by themselves without a parlay, because sometimes your parlay gets screwed up by like some other random fight, right? So on big name fights like this with rankings, I'll always say, go sub, go KO, depending on how the money goes. But I wouldn't doubt Brendan Allen could get it done. Sean Brady was saying on Brady Bag's podcast that Brendan Allen will get it done. I just see Marvin Vettori getting a knockout. I keep seeing that in my head. But you never know. Brendan Allen's got a pretty solid chin on him. So we'll see how that fight plays. Of course, it's Italy versus United States. So, of course, I want to root for Brendan Allen. But I see it in my head going towards Marvin Vettori. Bantamweight bout. Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Lockdog Oliveira. Number 15 against number 12. Here's what I want to say. And no Brazilians get offended by me saying this, please. Brazilians don't have the best wrestling. That's why it's taken Charles Oliveira so long to get good at wrestling. It's because they don't really have good wrestling. They have good takedowns, good foot sweeps when they're doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but it's different when you're fighting an American wrestler. Now, lately, American wrestlers have been on the decline, but Kyler Phillips is that one dude that I would say he could possibly get Lockdog down and submit him, maybe ground and pound, TKO. But Vinicius Oliveira, man, I would go him by knockout every day of the week when I'm betting, because that's just how good of a fighter he is. I mean, that flying knee was perfect. Of course, his opponent had turned his back in the cage. And it's like, dude, you can't do that. Like, whether you're fighting a dog or something, or a human, you can't turn your back against your opponent. That's just dumb. And in martial arts, they don't teach you, or they teach you that all the time, no matter what martial arts you're taking. So I would say that his opponent sucked during that flying knee. Which I mean in no offense, but you can't be turning your back on your opponent. This one I'm looking forward to. This is actually a sleeper fight. Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. Now, Zellhuber put on that banger fight against Ribovic at UFC Sphere. And that fight was fucking awesome, man. So what I'll say about that is Definitely this fight is the sleeper fight of the night. Probably fight of the night. Neither that or Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. Those two are my fight of the night that I'm thinking will get it. Unless they just want to throw bonuses at Poirier for his last fight. I could see that too. But man, Michael Johnson has really good striking, great footwork. So I actually like him as an underdog. Daniel Zellhuber, while he's newer to the UFC than Michael Johnson is. What I mean by that is his technique is going to be different because he's only been training for this much. Meanwhile, Michael Johnson's been training for this much. His career and his just veteran knowledge in general is better than Daniel Zellhuber. So I could see Michael Johnson getting a finish here. As long as he's using his awesome footwork, man. Michael Johnson has some great footwork, great technique, beautiful hooks and combinations. But Zellhuber, I mean, he's a favorite for a reason, but I just see Michael Johnson as a dog, and I go, that's the dog right there. I'll always bet on the dog if that's who I'm going for. All right, main card. It's kind of weird because like the main card has it has like Patricio Pitbull over here. I don't know why that is. But it's Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. And that's a great fight as well. I don't know if it's going to be before or after Kevin Holland, but Dan Ige, 50K Ige, is a dog. Okay? But we got to remember, Patricio Pitbull's been a champion for years. He fought against Yair Rodriguez, and that's the unfortunality is styles make fights, and Yair had the striking advantage in that fight. Dan Ige is great and has great clean combinations, but I would go on Patricio Pitbull. He's been training with Henry Cejudo. He's good with submissions, and I could see him getting Dan Ige down and just dominating him. So I say round 1 submission, round 2, round 3, whatever is going to pay the best, I'd say go for that because while I like Dan Ige, he's the man. And I respect him a lot. What I'll say is Patricio Pitbull's been a champion for years, man. He might have been outside of the UFC, but Yair Rodriguez is just good. I mean, he was a lightweight champion or a featherweight champion for a reason. Even if it was interim, in my opinion, they're all champions. If they get the interim belt, they're still a champion. So I think Yair Rodriguez just had the style to beat someone like Pitbull. While Dan Ige, I think, kind of plays into it. He's going forward, and that's exactly what Pitbull wants. Because his foot sweeps are off, you coming forward. All his technique is when you come in forward. So, and a lot of his crisp combinations are when another fighter that isn't longer than him gets in boxing range. That's when Pitbull has the potential to knock you out. But so does Dan Ige. So it's a great fight. It's not showing me odds on that, but definitely check out DraftKings Sportsbook. They'll be the one doing it for real. Kevin Holland, man, I love how active this guy is. Even though I hate him for the way he disrespected Rampage, and Rampage is one of the legends of this sport. And when he disrespected him, I was like, dude, I'm done with you. So like, I still like Kevin Holland, but I don't at the same time. It's kind of weird. The way he disrespected my man was just not right and unforgivable. And the MMA community kind of got behind Rampage. Was like, nah, dude, you ain't talking to a legend like that. So let's go, D-Rod. Kevin Holland's been fighting like every other week. So activity could make him be the winner here. But I do see D-Rod training. He's looking really crisp. And for that reason, I could see D-Rod maybe getting a decision win. I don't see him knocking Kevin Holland out. But I do see it the opposite way, sadly. I do see Kevin Holland able to knock out Daniel Rodriguez. It's kind of one of those things where Kevin Holland has the better striking overall, and he's got the length and the footwork. Footwork's a huge thing that a lot of people don't talk about besides Weasel. Like, footwork is one of the fundamentals. That's what makes Poirier so powerful. He's not incredible Hulk strength, but what he's doing is he's generating all that technique from his hips, and he's twisting his body into his shots. But the thing is, he's immediately back and safe and defensively sound, because that's the good thing about Poirier is his defense is on another level, and I just don't see D-Rod having that defense like that. So I see Kevin Holland getting it done, round 1, round 2, or decision. Whatever's going to pay the best is what I would go for, because Kevin Holland, he wants to finish people. Like, even though he disrespected my man, Kevin Holland is a banger. Like, he wants to knock people out and submit them. He submitted Michael Chiesa in like the first round. So just keep that in mind. Roman Kopylov versus Paulo Costa, man. This is a great fight. This could be fight of the night if Paulo plays his cards right. I just don't see... It's kind of like a pick 'em. People are picking... it's plus 200, minus 245. Like, they're real close odds. Definitely check out DraftKings Sportsbook, because they're going to have better odds than what's shown on the UFC website. But I could see Kopylov getting a finish here if he plays his cards right. You know, weathers the storm, round 3, you can get Paulo Costa out of there easily. And that's been shown. I mean, Sean Strickland was going to put him out in the very ending fight, and that's why people were mad at Strickland. It's like, dude, you're piecing this guy up for 5 rounds. You could do that and knock him out in 3. Like, but that's just the way Strickland fights. I see Kopylov finishing Costa, but I can also see Costa knocking out Kopylov. So I'll ride with my dog on this. Paulo Costa, secret juice. I think Barashnia has enough losses on his record where he's starting to think about getting a win. And I've seen he's been working on his footwork better and better. He's still training with really good coaches. So I think Paulo Costa has a chance here. And I do like him as a dog here. All right, now the main event, guys. Man, just a legendary career. Like, you know, and that's the one thing is, like, I got into the sport. I followed it. Then Connor kind of, like, put me off on the sport because it was just so cringe, some of the stuff he was doing. Like, when he started disrespecting Jose Aldo, I'm like, dude, all right, I'm done. I can't associate myself with that. I'm going to take a break from the sport. Now, I've caught up on my fights since I took a break, you know, because I was watching during the Rampage and Wanderlei Silva days and before that as well. What I will say is, man, Dustin Poirier has had an awesome career. It's really a shame that he didn't get that win against Islam. I mean, he scarred Islam for life. And I don't hear enough people talking about that. I mean, I was watching the Mighty Cast the other day, and it's Islam Makhachev and Demetrius Johnson just talking. And there's that scar from Dustin Poirier where he had Islam opened up, man. And what I'll say on that is Dustin's a dog, man, and he is the BMF. So I do see him winning this fight. But that's no disrespect towards Max. I do respect Max a lot. BMF champion. The way he put out Gaethje, I expected Max Holloway to beat Gaethje, even though Gaethje is from my same state. So I always try to rep, you know, my guys. But I knew Max Holloway was going to win that UFC 300 fight. I should have put money on it. I didn't. But it's just because Gaethje's a beast. He really is. If that nose wasn't broken, I see the fight going a little bit closer. But Max Holloway has the volume and the striking output that I could see him putting away anyone if he's technically sound and defensively sound. The problem is defensively sound. You know, there's a lot of times where Gaethje was hitting him with punches. You know, and Max Holloway even said, man, this guy hits so hard. And in Poirier's fight against Max Holloway, I saw that too, defensively sound. His footwork and his volume's great, but defensively sound. And I see Dustin Poirier as that guy. So I see the dog in New Orleans retiring with the BMF belt. I don't think the BMF belt should go away if anyone hears this from the UFC. If, you know, Sean Shelby, Hunter Campbell, Dana, any of them hear this, like, keep the BMF belt in rotation, but make sure people are qualified to do it, okay? Because I think it's good for fighters to have another belt to go for that gets them pay-per-view points, gets them the respect of their peers. And I think the BMF belt is it's aesthetically sound, beautiful. So I want to see the BMF belt stay in rotation. It'd be great if it was at welterweight as the lightweight division kind of shifts around. Love to see that belt go to the welterweight division because there are a lot of killers there, and I could see Sean Brady getting that belt in a second, man. Just submitting someone in round 1. So let me know what you guys think in the comment. Who do you have winning? Definitely check out the sponsor of this video, Bucked Up. Use my code lycanthrope1 for 20% off your order. Some of the best protein shakes around. Some of the best pre-workouts whenever I'm going to work out. Man, their testosterone booster is killer as well. Then they just came out with a protein carbonated energy drink that isn't whey, so it's not like super hard. Like I always have problem with whey. They have a lot of solutions for people that have problems with whey. Definitely check out bucked.com. Code lycanthrope1. And subscribe to the channel. I'd love for you guys to share this with your friends and peers. Definitely check out the gaming content if you're interested. Some of the Grand Theft Auto Enhanced playthrough on Grand Theft Auto 5 has been hilarious in one of the most recent videos. First 5 minutes of the video, I jack an Escalade and throw the owner right into oncoming traffic. So definitely check that out. I got music in the works. The recording studio is beautiful as it always has been. I had some awesome guitar gear that I am reviewing for you guys. And music is on the way, guys. So thank you so much. Like and subscribe. And as always, take care.